Hey, happy Wednesday. All right. There is so much noise out there about retirement. One minute, one guru is telling you to never touch annuities. And then the next, they're promising you guaranteed income because it's the best thing since sliced bread. Okay. Um, and so June is Annuity Awareness Month. And in this month, I want to break down annuities so that you have all the info you need to make an informed choice. Okay. So let me ask you this. And you can answer in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, just put replay. But let me ask you this: when you think about retirement, what is it that you really truly want? I just posted this on the community tab earlier today. Um, do you want peace of mind? Do you want consistency? Do you want options? Okay. What is it that you truly want? Do you want to travel, the world? Okay. Um, but in the midst of knowing what you want, you also want to know that your money will last no matter what life brings. Okay. And so today in this live, I'm cutting through any myths or confusions that you may have about annuities and cash flow in retirement. Okay. And so I'm going to show you how you can blend annuities with other income streams and why this can be the foundation for the freedom that you are so wanting and deserve. Okay. And so, real quick, if you are new to me or to the channel, my name is Katrice, and I am a licensed health and life insurance broker, paralegal, and your wealth architect. And I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to grow, protect, and secure their finances and to build a financial legacy that they can be proud of. Okay. All right, so let's jump into it. So, like I said earlier, June is Annuity Awareness Month. And all this month, I have been diving in more in depth on topics surrounding annuities so that you have all the information that, not all that you need, but you have the information that you need to start looking into annuities so that you can make an informed choice as to whether or not annuities are a good fit for you. Okay. So annuities do tie up your money. Okay. That's really with anything that you invest in, or that you put your money into. It's going to tie up your money for a certain amount of time so that you can see, let the money grow and compound so that you can get a return, see if, what your return on investment would be. Okay. And so, even though annuities do lock up your money for a certain amount of time, what if the right strategy using annuities actually unlocks more flexibility and peace? Okay. So, this strategy that I'm going over, that I'm referring to, is called income buckets. Okay. And I touched on this in the masterclass, and will have another masterclass that I will be offering next month in August, in Leo season. And so you definitely want to make sure that you are on that, because I am going to go a lot more in depth into income buckets and how to use them and strategize them. Okay. But now, you may have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to income buckets. You may understand and know what I'm talking about. And then if you don't, or even whether you do or you don't, you may not know how to build them so that they work together for your benefit. Okay. And so that is the objective that we are going to go get to the nitty gritty right here, right now in this live. Okay. So you do want to have a piece of paper or a notebook, and something to write with so that you can take notes. Now, before I get knee deep into the power of income buckets, I just I want to get rid of some myths, the top three myths that really give annuities a bad rap, and keep people from really tapping into the potential of the power of annuities. Okay. So the first one is annuities lock up all your money. And this is one I hear all the time. But the truth is, while some annuities are restrictive, they have many options now that offer liquidity, income riders, and flexible access to your funds. Okay. And so when it comes to an annuity or any product, it's all about choosing the right product for your goals. Okay. um, which is why you need to know what it is that you want. How do you want your retirement to look? So that you can choose the right products that will help you to um, get there in the shortest amount of time. Okay. The second myth is you don't need annuities if you have other income. Okay. And so actually, annuities can serve as your income foundation. You can think of annuities as your own personal Social Security account. Um, I say this all the time. If you are a millennial like me, or a younger Gen X, Social Security is more than likely not going to be a viable source for us in the future. And so, in order to replace that source, you can look into annuities as it is your personal Social Security account. Um, it's guaranteed money each month. Okay. So it works just like Social Security, where you're getting that guaranteed, you know exactly how much it's going to be every single month. And so with this, you would have a foundational income stream, and then you can build other income streams around that. And it also helps when it comes to your withdrawal strategies and tax planning during retirement. Okay. And the third myth is that annuities are too complicated. Um, and anything can feel too complicated if nobody explains it to you properly, or you don't have a good grasp on what it is. Okay. Now, once you learn how annuities could actually fit into your overall income plan, then it all starts to make more sense. But the first thing is to sit down and actually get information, get informed about annuities, how they work, and how they may potentially be able to enhance your retirement wealth strategy. Okay. All right. So now that we got the myths out of the way, let's talk about income buckets. Okay. So again, you're going to want to take notes. If you're just now jumping on, you're going to want to take notes on this section here. So you want to imagine your retirement income as streams flowing into different buckets. Okay. So the first bucket that uh, would be your guaranteed bucket. Okay. So this bucket would be your annuities, your Social Security, your pensions. Okay. This would be things that are guaranteed. You know exactly how much it's going to be every single month, and it's not going to fluctuate. Okay. Then you have your growth bucket. Now, the growth bucket would include things like cash value life insurance and investments. So this would be stocks, mutual funds, real estate. This also could be your 401ks and things like that. Okay. Um, then you have your flexible bucket. Now, this would be things like part-time work. Although I know when I retire, there'll be no part-time, nothing, not working. But some people do. Okay. So, some people get bored and they're like, I just want to do a little something just to keep my mind, I don't have enough things to do. So I want to, do something, so it may be like a little part-time job you get. rental income if you have income coming in from your rental properties. And then any little side hustles that you may start. You might decide you want to be the candy lady in your neighborhood, and so you have the children coming by. That's a little side hustle, right? That's flexible. Those are examples of flexible income. Okay. And so when you diversify your income this way, you're not putting all your eggs into one basket. And so it's keeping everything, flowing, right? If one stream, like if say the flexible bucket kind of, dry up a little bit, you still good because you have your income in your guaranteed bucket. Okay. You have your guaranteed bucket that's solid, and then you also have your growth bucket. And if you want to try to work on building back up your flexible bucket, you're not stressing about anything because you have two other strong sources, right? Okay. And so when it comes to you setting up your income for retirement, it's all about creating resilience, and it's not just resilience, but creating flow. Okay. Money flows when it's not, when the energy is not constrained, when it's free flowing, when there's no constriction, then money flows. Okay. Um, this is really important, especially for women, because we typically live longer and carry more responsibility. Okay. And so when you set up your income with these three buckets, it creates a peace of mind. A peace of mind is something that money cannot buy. Okay. Money makes, you can't buy a peace of mind, but you can set your money up so that your mind is at peace when it comes to your finances. Okay. All right. So I want to go just a little bit deeper as to why annuities can make a very strong foundation for you. Okay. And I've already said that, I look at annuities as it being your own personal Social Security account. And so when you have a guaranteed monthly payment from an annuity, you you don't worry. You know that money that's a guaranteed. I know every month I'm going to get this amount. Okay. And so your base, you might use that to cover your basic needs, so your house and your groceries, your health care, things of that nature. And so this frees you up to let your other investments keep growing. Okay. And to be able to weather the ups and downs of the market, if you have uh, market assets, without panic selling when times get tough. Okay. Um, and so annuities, or the growth bucket, which is in the growth bucket, are not meant to be your only solution. Okay. And so this is why you see so many women who are struggling in retirement because they only have income coming in the growth bucket. Okay. And so while setting up your growth bucket is an essential foundation to have, you also want to set up the other buckets as well. Okay. All right. So when it comes to layering your income streams, I'm going to give you an example of what this would look like in practice. Okay. So let's say that you're getting ready to approach retirement. And so you have your Social Security benefits, you have a small pension, you have your personal investment. So you probably have like a 401k or an IRA, maybe a Roth, Index Universal Life. And then you get you an annuity for guaranteed income. Okay. Now, when it comes to annuities, you want to get them. Not Some people wait till retirement, and then they might get, say, like a lump sum from work, and so then they'll want to get an annuity then. But if you have the financial flexibility to start an annuity before you retire, say like 5 to 7 years before you retire. That gives your annuity time to grow and to benefit from that compound interest. Okay. And so the earlier you can start an annuity, the better that it would be, because at that point you get to capitalize on the compound interest. Okay. And so when it comes to your how this looks in practicality, each month your annuity and your social security or your pension would provide your must have money. So this would be your household money, foundational money. Okay. And then your investments can give you that flexibility. And then any income that you might have from the flexible bucket, that can also come in, and that can be just like your play money. Okay. And so when you layer your income this way, it gives you the confidence not just to say I'm surviving, but you are now actually thriving, because you set yourself up to have more than one stream of income. And the streams that you do have, they're not all in just the one bucket. They're mixed in different buckets so that it diversifies your income. Okay. All right, so here are a few practical steps that you can use to start really building out, different investments and things that you may want to look into to fund your wealth retirement strategy. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to map out your basic expenses. Okay. So exactly what do you need every month to feel safe and secure, to make sure that your bills and everything you have going on is paid for. Okay. Then you want to identify your guaranteed income sources that you currently have. So Social Security, if you're paying Social Security taxes, you have that. And if you have some type of a pension, I know those are kind of like outdated. Many companies don't do them anymore. But if you do, okay, you want to list that. Then you want to look at your flexible income streams. Okay, so this would be things like your 401ks or any rental investment stocks, anything like that, and then any side income that you have. Okay, and so when you're looking at your income, you want to use an annuity to fill the gap, right? So if there's any gaps, then you can consider an annuity, because that could bridge the gap. Okay. So at that point, you don't have to tap into your to any risky access at the wrong time, right? It's all about making sure that you financially are safe. You have that financial foundation, and a annuity can help you to really bridge that gap. Okay. And then you want to always review regularly your needs. um, Things change, the markets change, life changes, and so you have to let your plan grow with you. Nothing is stagnant, especially when it comes to your finances and insurance. Insurance is a living, breathing item. Okay. And so it even though when you purchase life insurance, most people think of it as purchasing life insurance for the death benefit. Life insurance has living benefits. And when you have life insurance, you have to continuously make sure that that policy is updated. Okay. Because it's meant to flow with you, not just it's just not just a piece of paper. Okay. And so you always want to make sure that you are updating any beneficiaries. If you need to make any changes, if you need to add a beneficiary, if you need to add extra coverage, you always want to make sure that you are being consistent with the updating of your policies. Okay. All right. So to close out, you don't have to choose between security and freedom, and you can have both with the right structure. So when you bring together multiple income streams anchored by an annuity, okay, if that works for your situation, then you create a space of financial safety for yourself. Okay. And that is where the real financial power is. Okay. And it's available to you should you choose so to take it on. Okay. So if you are wanting to learn more about annuities and see how you can fit annuities into your wealth retirement strategy, you can book a free consultation with me using the link in the description of this live. And we can look at where you are with your finances. We can also kind of get a ballpark gauge of how do you want your retirement to look, and then we can go from there to start really putting together a plan that will fit you and your retirement lifestyle. Okay. All right, so thank you so much for watching. If you have made it this far, um, I so do appreciate you. My goal is to always provide practical, actionable financial advice to help you to take control of your finances and your future. And again, if you would like to book a retirement wealth consultation strategy with me, you can, or if you just want to discuss, you just need some life insurance, or if you have questions about estate planning, you want to get more information about estate planning, then you can do so using the link in the description of this video. Now, if this video provided you with tremendous value, then please do share it with your business bestie or water cooler homegirl that needs to hear this message. And also, you can subscribe for more content related around growing, protecting, and securing your finances. All right. And don't forget to check the description for tools and resources if you want more guidance outside of the content that I provide here on the channel. All right. And so drop a comment below and let me know what do you think about the income buckets, the power of the income buckets, and do you have you set up? How do you have your income set up to flow for you? All right. And so remember that the way to secure your financial future is to protect it now, because tomorrow is not promised. All right. Have a good one.